I've never been insured in my life. I don't believe in insurance.
The other character, I like the idea of Burt Reynolds.
There's no risk.
And the studio, they weren't too happy about that either, really, because he'd been in 3 TV series which all failed.
Yes, bad television and bad movies. So it was a big change.
But we got him, and they finally agreed.
Sometimes you have to lose yourself before you can find anything.
And now, being a Southerner, raised in Georgia and Florida, I knew Dickie's work, and I got this call, would I fly to LA and meet with Borman? And I said, of course. And I came out and went to the back lot at Warner Brothers, and we started immediately talking and laughing, and he said, can you do a Southern accent? And I said, I've spent 20 years trying to get rid of it, but yes, I can.
I want to get some drivers to drive this car and that car down to Aintree. Drivers, you understand?
And then he said, would you mind improvising? And I thought he meant with him, and I said, no, I love to improvise. And he opened the door, and Voight came out through the secret door, came John Voight, who I immediately liked, because John is guileless and just a wonderful guy.
I think Burt saw this as what he knew it would be, which was it was going to propel him into the public eye. And when he came on the set, he knew that. He knew what this picture could do, and he knew how to play that role. So he was looking at me to see if I was going to interfere with that. So he's looking at me like, are you my friend? Are you my enemy?
I would sit in his chair, I would sit in his chair a lot. Just wanted to see what he'd say, because it was so sweet. And 3 or 4 weeks went by, and he didn't say anything. So finally I said, don't you want to know why I'm sitting in your chair? And he said, I was wondering. And I said, well, I can't sit in my chair because I'd cover up my name. And he went, oh. I mean, that's how guileless he is. I mean, I could pull 1,000 practical jokes on him, which I did all the time.
We knew each other from the beginning, and we laughed a lot from the beginning. So there was always that ingredient. And John has a great sense of humor, a terrific sense of humor. So he was the proper master for us to be dealing with at that time.
We were rehearsing in this sort of country club in Clayton, Georgia, because the actors had to train in canoe and archery and get fit. And we had, it was a lot of work to do to get them into a state where they'd be able to safely make this picture.
And we had 2 weeks of rehearsal where we all just sort of were together. And we got together every day, all day.
But we would sit for hours and we'd talk about our relationship, but then we talk about, did our parents know each other? And how did we get to be friends? And we wrote a novel. John did anyway, and I tried to help.
And so Jim came up and sat in the bar, and he had this booming voice and this powerful presence, and he was very intimidating.
And Dickie always called us by our character names. And he went, Lewis, I'm talking to you, boy. Come over here. And the girl said, I think Mr. Dickie wants you. And I said, he ain't talking to me. My name ain't Lewis. My name is Burton. Tomorrow morning, I'll be Lewis. And then he got up. And I could feel him coming, across. And I was sitting in a bar stool. Now, a bar stool was pretty tall. And he was so big that he stood up over me, and his hands down like this on the bar, and his head was still here. And he went, now, Lewis, I was talking to you, boy. I asked you to come over there. I want to talk to you. I said, Mr. Dickie, I'm not Lewis. I'm Bert now. Tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock, I'll be Lewis. But now, get out of my goddamn face. And there was a quiet little moment there where I thought, possibly he will kill me, or cut me, or stab me, or whatever. And he went, that's exactly what Lewis would have said. And then he went back over and drove them crazy for the rest of the evening. Never bothered me again.